There are lots of things going on here all of the time. Many events, many exhibits, lots of restaurants, lots of shops. There are museums, the Stained Glass Museum, the Children's Museum, the Crystal Museum, an IMAX theater, the Shakespeare Theater. And of course you can see there are amusement rides, the Ferris wheel, symbolic of the fact that Chicago had the very first Ferris wheel at its 1893 World's Fair, the Columbian Exposition. Any of you have ever read Devil in the White City, you know the story of our very first Ferris wheel. It's a wonderful book, it's a wonderful story, so I highly recommend it. So we're turning around. You can look back up the main branch of the river. You can see that spire on top of Trump Tower, which is adding over 200 feet to the height of the building. But I did want you to realize that where we turned around, there is a lock that is behind us that leads out from the river to the lake. In order for boats to go from the river to the lake, or vice versa, they have to go through that lock. And that's because Lake Michigan is higher than our Chicago River. It can be anywhere from 16 to 23 or 24 inches higher, depending upon the year. That all goes back to when we reversed the flow. When we did that, when we turned our river around, Lake Michigan waters flowed freely into our river at an estimated rate of tens of millions of gallons every hour. Now that did not bother Chicago, did not concern us very much. We liked all of that wonderful Lake Michigan water flowing into our river, but it did start to concern our neighbors who lived in Indiana and Michigan and Wisconsin, even as far north as Canada. They were very concerned about those wonderful fresh Lake Michigan waters flowing so freely into our lake. And they appealed to the federal government in the